I used to be a professional recruitment consultant. Now, I know many of you think that's an oxymoron, like fun run or business casual. But as I've come out of the closet, I'd like to get to know the audience. So would you mind putting your hands up if you're working in HR currently? So a big chunk from HR, okay. Line managers with responsibility for recruitment. Good chunk there. Recruitment consultants. Yeah, good, a good mass smattering there. Now, the reality is you just don't get on. The line manager sees HR as a barrier. HR considers the line manager not really up to the task of recruiting. On the line management side, they've got their odd mate in recruitment that takes them to the rugby or football from time to time. And people in HR think people in recruitment add very little value. So all I would say is if you could talk to each other, collaborate with each other, then certainly you could immediately improve your recruitment performance. How many of you have heard your chief executive utter those immortal words, "Our people are our greatest asset"? But does your organisation have the capability to identify, attract, recruit and retain the best people? Now, according to the latest CIPD recruitment survey, 84% of you are experiencing recruitment difficulties. And that's up in just 2 years from 70%. And the survey indicates that what you're doing to rectify it is just the same as you've always done. And all I would say is, if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always got. And this is now a time to change. The most common recruitment difficulties are, one, generally a lack of good quality candidates. Particular positions which are difficult to fill invariably are leadership roles. And many of you are facing escalating recruitment costs and very acute time pressures. Certainly, as a recruiter, I'm very conscious of what the business requires. A recent survey by American Co. of chief executives asked them one simple question: what's the one topic that keeps you awake at night? And the CEO said, recruitment and retention, because business leaders are increasingly believing that attracting the best people gives them competitive advantage. I would like to, as a recruiter for 20 years, to give you a practical, insider's view of how you can recruit excellence. And in fact, what I'd like to do is to give you a magical mystery tour over all of the factors that will help you win the war for talent. Because I believe successful recruitment requires a comprehensive approach. And unless you address all of these areas, simply you won't be successful. But firstly, we have to create the right culture. Now, successful recruitment is at the heart of business success. Consultants Watson Wyatt compiled a human capital index which shows that excellence in recruiting increases shareholder value. Whilst McKinsey did a study which showed that companies with the best talent management practices actually outperform the sector average by 20% in terms of delivering shareholder return. So consequently, as an activity, recruitment adds more value than any other HR activity. But it shouldn't be viewed as the sole preserve of HR. Recruitment should be at the center of the organization. It should be a business activity, mission critical to everybody in the organization. Michael Dell of Dell Computer Corporation places people as the company's #1 priority. And he exhorts all of his managers, not just HR, to go out and relentlessly recruit world-class people. Steve Jobs of Apple spends a quarter of his personal time involved in recruiting and retaining the best people for Apple Corporation. Who are your stars? Who are those people who are mission critical to your organization? At 11:30, 12 o'clock today, I guarantee that every single one of you will switch on your mobile phone. Just imagine that when you switch on that phone in an hour and a half or so, that you've got a message from one of your star performers. And it's a message when they're offering their resignation. Something's really going to muck up the rest of your day. So I want you to think of that one person, the person that would spoil your day. And I want you then to ask yourself 4 questions. Does that individual know you consider them a star? Do you make that person feel like a star? In the last 6 months, have you sat down with them, discussed their ambitions and aspirations, and informed them what opportunities lie with them within the organisation? And lastly, have you checked, double-checked and triple-checked that their pay is in line with people within the organisation and people outside? Because unless you can answer yes, yes, yes and yes, you're negligent. Because when you get that call, we all know, anything you do then is too little and too late. So having those conversations with your stars is a preemptive strike against receiving that call in 1 hour, 20 minutes. Just a quick note on turnover. How many of you are working towards reducing your staff turnover to an ideal number? Anyone put their hands up? Okay. Anyone just share that number with us? Just shout out. What number are you looking for in terms of staff turnover? Anybody? Less than 20%. Less than 20%? What else? Any others? 10%. 10%. Any other numbers you're looking for? 30%. Because in today's business world, high staff turnover is the norm. Every year, the Sunday Times produces the 100 best companies to work for. And within the top 10 of the 100 best companies to work for, there's always 2 or 3 organisations with staff turnover of more than 20%. In fact, I would say one of the problems that one faces is over-retention. If you've got staff turnover in the very low single digits, how are you injecting new ideas, new talent to the organisation? So therefore, it's not the numbers that are leaving which is critical. It's who are leaving. In the old world, the best people stayed with the organisation and they made it to the top. And the also-rans left. In the new world, the best people leave because they can and they've got choices. So therefore, have you got your arms around your star performers?